Hello, welcome to the video. Today it's gonna be a really short one because I stumbled upon a thing myself. I don't know if it's actually like a meta or anything. Just got home, I haven't even done my dailies yet. Like as you see, my AP's full. It's not good. Um, but I stumbled across this right. Legendary Cavalry in KVK 2. Everybody knows Saladin. Everybody knows the meta where you put Saladin in front of a wise G or something along those lines, right? But then I was thinking, right, there's more commanders here, and nobody really talks about these two, from what I've heard at least. I haven't really seen anything on Discord servers or nothing, right? We can start with Bertrand. He has not always been a commander, right? He used to be a very boring commander that has no use in this whole game. He was known to be useless, right? But if we look at this, we have rage reduction of 30 and damage factor of 600. Now this hits for 2 times, right? To 3 enemies. Just one enemy, it would be 1600. So it's 1200. So it is a 3600 damage factor if you have all 3 enemies, which is very good. You also have loads of stats, right? And these ones are very good because when you look at equipment for the for cavalry, there's a lot of defense in it, right? Defense is very it's overdone on defense, to be completely honest, right? We also have 10% march speed bonus, which is, it's not too important. It's cavalry, they're fast anyways, right? And then this is what's important. Whenever it launches a basic attack, it has a 25% chance to launch a combo attack, right? And combo attacks can trigger basic attack skills. So basically, he triggers his own skill here, which is on a 400, and also has a normal damage bonus of 10%. Now, normal damage bonus, actually, that buffs your combo attacks, right? I don't know if it says anything here. Yeah, affected by bonuses to normal damage, right? And then you see we have 10% normal damage. So basically, 10% more, 10% more damage on your combo. And then here we have the last skill. When it's attacking a failed troop, whenever it deals combo attack damage, there's a 20% chance to increase the rage requirement of the target's active skills by 100 for 5 seconds. Now, 5 seconds is a long time, right? And when you look at this, right, he throws 2 right here, right? And then he throws a possibility, like a 50% chance when you think about it, because it's 25% to launch a combo attack whenever it launches a basic attack. That will be triggered by this active skill alone. 50% chance to get triggered, right? So he will launch a lot of combo attacks, which makes this a very high chance, to be honest, because it's a 40% probability when you have him expertise. Even if not, it's a 20% chance, right? And then when it's expertise, rage requirement increased by 200, which is a lot, especially in KVK 1, because there's not many rage engines. Like if we look at this, there's Saladin, doesn't have any like rage stuff that I'm aware of, at least. That's like from looking at this for like 2 seconds, right? It doesn't look like it. So Saladin with Wise G does have a lot of rage, which is, it's going to be a problem nonetheless, but that's something we can't fix. But basically, he nerfs the most known, most used, pretty much everything, honestly. It nerfs every single march that it's hitting. And then the expertise. Commander takes 5% less damage, which is always good to have some tankiness, especially on cavalry. They're very squishy usually. And then they deal 10% more combo attack damage to troops with less than 60% units remaining. So this could be very good for clearing out damage, like refresh marches or something that's running back to get refreshed. So that is very good. So Bertrand is not that bad of a commander anymore, as a whole. But then I'm looking at this Takeda, right? We all know Takeda. It used to be good, right? It has mobility tree, which is very good. Cavalry tree, which is very good. And then here, inflicts burn on a target troop for 4 seconds, right? Now you might not think much of this, but there's a 50% chance that it will be dealing 50% more normal damage for 1 second, right? Within that 1 second, Bertrand is going to cast his combo attack damage. And as you see here, combo attack damage is affected by bonuses to normal damage. So then, when this casts a normal damage received increase to an enemy, by 50%, it buffs the combo attacks by 50%. Now, the only downside is that it most of the time won't hit with this, because this is a probability, it's not after. And since the time is so short, which is 1 second, it most of the time won't hit. But the active skill, which is still very, very big, it's 1,200 when you think about both of the attacks. I'm not 100% sure how combo works exactly, and if the second attack will hit, because I'm not using combo very much. So this is just from my opinion, right? This whole video is just my opinion. What I've seen might not be right, might be very right, and might be fucking broken, right? So we have the skill damage, normal damage increase, and then on to the second skill. This commander's cavalry units gain 40% attack bonus, and it has a 10% chance for each basic attack, which again, combo attack is basic attacks, has a 10% chance to gain 30% march speed. That is very, very fast. And then we also have, whenever this commander uses a Fierce as Fire skill, their troop recovers a portion of slightly wounded units every second for the next 4 seconds. So 150 healing factor, which is going to be 600 healing factor in the total, right? And if this commander's troops only contain cavalry units against 20% defense, if you have it at 40% defense, and that's a synergy as well, because here you see that we don't have defense, so we're lacking on defense here. Even though equipment, as I said earlier, has a lot of defense, we don't have any defense in his kit. So then we have the 40% defense, 10% attack, 10% health, 10%, 40% march speed if procced, if not, 10% march speed, and then a 5% damage reduction. Right? Then on to the fourth skill. Skill damage reduction. This is very big. Most of the marches, now, except for this march, which is Takeda and Bertrand, or anything with Bertrand, and the CJ march, because that's smite damage. So most of the marches in the game, all of the archers have skill damage, so this reduces 5% of that, and then it has a 25% normal damage reduction, right? I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, includes basic attack, counter attack, smite, and combo attack damage. So it's very tanky against the big, very broken marches, right? Including CJ, which I'm going to be using myself, which is very sad on my half, right? I definitely won't be hitting Takeda on purpose. And then it has a 25% counterattack damage reduction, right? And then here's the passive skill. This commander's troops deal 30% more normal damage to burned enemies. Takeda is the only march that can burn in KVK 1. In total, it's only him and Belisarius Prime, if I'm not totally wrong. So the chance of hitting somebody with it is low. But at the same time, I don't know how many Takedas we're seeing in KVK 1 at the moment. So this could be a very, very interesting march to be looking into for I would say mid to high spender cavalry, because they're both Wheel of Fortune, if I'm not totally wrong. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune and... Yeah, Wheel of Fortune. So you'd have to spend a lot of gems on these two Wheel of Fortunes. Now, Takeda, I would honestly say 5 expertise, and I'm pretty sure that there's not much to say here really. you could put him at 5-5, but I recommend you get this last skill to 5. So 5-5-1-5 is the minimum I would go for. If you're very, very much lacking and you're desperate for a commander, 5-5-1-1 is fine. But other than that, I would not really use it. And then Bertrand, I would leave. You could leave him at. Yeah, I would say 5-5-5. Could leave him at 5-5 as well, but you're missing out on 200 combo attack damage factor and a 8% normal damage bonus, which is very big as a counter combo attack commander. But if you leave him at 5-5-1-1, I don't see an issue with that. And again, I'm no expert on cavalry, I'm no expert on combo, but I've discovered this and I thought that it would be very useful for people that are playing, you know, cavalry march maidens and stuff like that. Also an update on last video, we did not get level 10 unfortunately, so I couldn't get the 3 extra, but now I got 3 of these. We also had egg event coming around and I was very disappointed and I was wrong. We did not get the equipment I wanted. We only have the accessories and the weapon. So I am going to get 10 spins just to get the 5 blueprint choice chests. Other than that, there's no point of me really going further. Some argue there's no point of getting this as well, but I like to do it because it's very cheap. It's 2,400 for the 5 spins, and then it's 400 for a single spin, and then it's 1 free. So yeah, it's 3,200 gems for me to do this, and I have gems enough for it, and I just want to invest into my future, and yeah, I found it worth, so that's what I'm going to keep. And that count is pretty much the same as yesterday. I did get some more speed ups, like 3 days of speed ups, so that's not bad, but hey, I'm still lacking on gems. Oof. Alright, well, that's all for today. That is the march that I was talking about. Oh my, where's crack? Okay. That was the march I was talking about. The Takeda with Bertrand. Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing reports from this. This could work out very well. As you see here as well, it's dealing huge damage. And yeah, it could be very, very interesting in an open field. Alright, thank you for watching. And if you're hearing this, you watched all the way through, so I appreciate that. Please like and subscribe to the channel and the video. And I hope to see you back in my future videos as well, as I'm going to be streaming and making a lot of videos on my KVK, my account progression, and everything in between. Alright, peace out.